All right, let's just imagine for a second. Your applications are spread out all over the place. You've got one team on AWS, another on Google Cloud, and of course, a ton of services running in Kubernetes. So how do you make sure you have a consistent security policy everywhere? It's a really complex puzzle. Today, we're going to see how one tool, Open Policy Agent, promises to bring some serious order to all that chaos. Does this feel a little too familiar? You know, the rules for your APIs are in one place, your Kubernetes policies are tucked away somewhere else, and your infrastructure code has its own set of checks. Every little change becomes this painful manual process. This is the decentralized policy nightmare we're here to talk about and solve. You know, this decentralized approach, it just doesn't scale. It can't. When you hard code security rules right into your applications, you're just creating a mess. Your policies become totally inconsistent, every single update requires a full redeployment, and trying to audit anything? It's nearly impossible. This isn't just inefficient, it's a major, major security vulnerability. But what if you could pull all of that policy logic out of your code? What if you could write your rules just once, in a single place, and then enforce them across your entire stack? Well, that is the core idea behind the Open Policy Agent, or OPA for short. It's the tool we're going to explore today. At its heart, OPA is kind of like a universal translator for policy. It's this lightweight engine designed specifically for defining and enforcing rules, no matter where you are in your tech stack. It creates this really clean separation. OPA handles the what, like what is actually allowed, while your services focus on the how, the actual implementation. This slide right here really shows the huge shift in thinking, removing away from these brittle, buried policies to a decoupled, consistent, and dynamic approach. Instead of slow, manual updates, OPA gives you a single source of truth that you can update in real time. I mean, this is a total game changer for both your speed and your security. This really gets to the core of OPA's philosophy: policy everywhere. Just imagine writing a single rule that says, data from European users has to stay in EU data centers. With OPA, you can apply that exact same rule to your microservices, your Kubernetes deployments, and even your Terraform code. It's about ensuring consistency across the entire board. And OPA isn't just some niche tool. It's a graduated project of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, the CNCF. That's the same organization that oversees foundational projects like Kubernetes and Prometheus. This tells you that OPA is a mature, trusted, and absolutely critical piece of the modern cloud-native world. So how does OPA actually work? It might sound complex, but the core logic is surprisingly simple. Let's take a quick look under the hood at its decision-making process. The whole thing is really just a simple request and response cycle. Your service sends OPA a JSON request with some context, you know, who the user is, what they're trying to do. OPA takes that, evaluates it against its policies, and then sends back a simple JSON decision, allow or deny. Now, what's really important here is that OPA only makes the decision. Your service is still the one responsible for actually enforcing it. Now, policies in OPA are written in a special language built just for this, called Rego. Let's break this example down. First, we set a default. Allow is false. That's a huge security best practice, right? Deny everything unless you explicitly permit it. Next, we define the rules that can make allow true. The first one's easy. Allow is true if the input user is admin. The second rule adds a bit more logic. Allow is also true if the user is Alice and their action is read. It's a really clean, declarative way to express complex logic. And this is exactly how it plays out in practice. When we give it an input where Alice tries to write, it doesn't match any of our allow rules, so the default false comes back. But when her action is read, it matches our second rule perfectly, and the decision is true. Simple input, clear policy, predictable decision. That's the goal. Okay, so the theory is cool, but where can you actually use this? The answer is pretty much everywhere. Its general-purpose design means OPA is incredibly versatile. One of the most powerful places you'll see OPA is in securing Kubernetes clusters. Through a project called Gatekeeper, OPA basically acts as a bouncer at the door of your cluster. It can enforce critical security policies, like stopping containers from running as root or making sure only images from a trusted registry get deployed. This stops misconfigurations before they ever become a problem. But OPA isn't just for runtime security. It's also an amazing tool for your CI/CD pipeline. It can analyze your infrastructure as code, like a Terraform plan, before it ever gets applied. Just imagine a policy that automatically blocks any change that would make an S3 bucket public. That's preventative security at its absolute best. API authorization is another classic use case. Instead of embedding authorization logic into every single microservice, they can all just offload that decision to a central OPA instance. This makes sure that a critical rule, like a user can only access their own data, is defined just once and then enforced consistently across your entire application. So when you start combining all these use cases, it becomes really clear that OPA is way more than just another tool. It really represents a fundamental shift, turning security and compliance from this manual, reactive process into something that's automated and proactive. The benefits here are really transformative. You get one unified framework for all of your policies. You gain consistency, which is so critical for security. Your policies are no longer hidden away in code. They become auditable, version-controlled artifacts. And you get so much more agility, since security rules can be updated without redeploying a single application. And look, this isn't just a theory. Some of the biggest names in tech and finance are already relying on OPA to manage their policies at a massive scale. Companies like Netflix, Goldman Sachs, and Chef have all adopted OPA to standardize their enforcement and bring consistency to their really complex environments. You know, for years, development teams have been speeding up with DevOps and CI/CD, while security and governance teams have just struggled to keep pace. OPA really offers a way to bridge that gap. So the question it leaves us with is this: what if your governance could finally move as fast as your code?